Hello dear students, many greetings to all of you. Today we will discuss another Pleiopteran order, Odonata. It includes damselflies and dragonflies. The genesis of Odonata is from Odon, meaning tooth, because these insects they have tooth. So by those you can say the order is derived. But other important characters to identify the members of this order is they have large two pairs of membranous wings, and the wings are many veined, and particularly in case of the they have two suborders, Gygoptera and Anisoptera. We will talk about the main characters of these both the suborders at the later, but now time we will discuss about the common things about the all odonates. So first of all we will talk about the adult characters. In case of the adults, generally as I have discussed that they have the two membranous many veined wings, and the mouth parts are chewing type. In case of the other Pleiopterans, in Ephemeropterans, the mouth parts were atrophied, but in this case the mouth parts are functional and are chewing type, and these are used for the predation of many insects during the flight, many flying insects like mosquito, gnats, and other small insects. Sometimes small moths are also work as a host of these odonates, and generally these damselfly and dragonflies are found near the water bodies like ponds, streams, rivers, etc. And the other thing is that they have very conspicuous or very well developed compound eyes, that is multifaceted by many ommatidia. And other thing is that the antennae is very small because they are very swift flyer, so they have very small inconspicuous type of antenna, cetaceous antenna. It is like a small hair, uh, and but in case of the odonates, they have very well developed compound eyes. Other thing is that in case of the adult, that their legs are generally used during the flight, and they don't walk, and they have been the legs have been adapted in such a way that during the flight they work as a basket, and all the insects in the vicinity of their flight, generally they come inside that basket during the flight, and is in this adaptation they collect all the mosquitoes or small insects and during this course of the flight. So this is a very interesting type of adaptation. By that they can feed when they are on the wings. So this is the other thing. And apart from this thing, they generally predators, uh, likewise the nymph. Now we will talk about the important characters of the nymphs. So the immature stage is entirely different in terms of the habitat. As the adult one, they are aerial, they use the terrestrial habitat, uh, particularly the aerial habitat, but the nymphal stages or egg stage, generally they use the aquatic habitat. So what are the important characters of these immature stages, particularly the nymphs? Nymphs of the odonates, like the Ephemeropterans, they are called the nates. So the aquatic nymphs of Ephemeroptera, or in this case Odonata, these are called the nates. And how they are different from the Ephemeropterans or other aquatic nymphs? By that they have the labium, which is very extensible, or they have some piercing jaws inside their in this labium, or what the labium is doing. This is also working as a basket like structure. When the prey is in the near habitat, in the vicinity of that particular water body, then what they do, the mask, they have hook like structure. By that they capture the aquatic and insect inside the in the vicinity of their water body, and then they grasp. So the labium work as a mask or capturing like basket in the nymphs, and this is the major character that is not found in case of the ephemeropterans. Apart from these, in the nymphal stages of dragonfly and damselfly, which are totally different from each other. In case of the nymph of dragonfly, uh, and they have the tail like structure at the tip of the abdomen, and these tail like structure at the tip of abdomen work in used in a undulation motion like the tail of the fish. So these are the major characters of the damselfly larvae. And in case of the dragonfly larvae, they are generally they fly, and they don't have the tail like structure over the at the tip of the abdomen, but they have the rectum gills instead of the caudal gills or abdominal gills. The dragonfly larvae, they are stout, and they have the rectal gills. So by these we can easily identify the dragonfly nymphs or damselfly nymphs. Dragonfly nymphs, again I repeat, dragonfly nymphs or naiads, generally they are stout, uh, and they have the rectal gills. But in case of the damselfly in naiad, they have the tail like projections or at the tip of the abdomen. And the dragonfly nets, they generally do the jet propulsion. Actually what they do, they when they breathe, in that time they take the water inside their anus, and then they expel that water outside from their anus. And during that this type of activity, they what they do, they go forward when they expel that particular water from their anus. So they have the rectal gills, and in case of the damsel fly in naiads, they have less tail like projections. And so by that we can say they have the incomplete metamorphosis, and they have eggs, nymphs, and adult. And other thing, how the major thing is that the Odonata have been further divided into the two suborders. uh, One is uh, Anisoptera, other one is Zygoptera. In case of the Anisoptera, dragonflies include, and in case of the damselflies come under the Zygoptera. So how can we differentiate between the Zygopterans and Anisopterans? That is the major thing in this particular slide. So you can see here that in case of the dragonfly, if you first you see the forewing and hindwing. In that case, you see the forewing and hindwing, they are broadly jointed from the thorax. But in case of the, if you closely see the dragonfly wings, forewing and hindwing, then you see they are petiolated, or we can say they are not broadly jointed with the abdomen. So in here you can see the both the wings are petiolated or not broadly jointed with the thorax. But in case of the dragonfly, they both the wings are broadly jointed with the thorax. So one thing is that, and other thing is that if you see the head of the dragonfly, then in that case all the anisopterans or all the dragonflies, they have the holoptic type of compound eyes, meaning is that the compound eyes are jointed at the dorsum. So here you can see both the compound eyes in case of the dragonflies are jointed at the dorsum. But in case of the damselfly, you see the both the compound eyes are well separated with each other at the dorsum, or in other case we can say compound eyes are dicoptic in condition. So in case of the damselfly, the compound eyes are dicoptic, or in case of the dragonfly, compound eyes are holoptic or meeting at the dorsum. But in case of the damselfly, they are well separated with each other. So on the basis of compound eyes, on the basis of wings, you can easily identify the dragonflies or damselfly. In this slide, you can easily differentiate the damselfly, dragonfly with the damselfly. So you know that in case of the anisopterans, the dragonflies, anisopterans are the suborder of dragonflies, and Zygoptera is related to the damselflies. So how can we differentiate? So first of all, it is very easy to differentiate between Anisoptera and Zygoptera by their flight. If you see all the Zygopterans or damselfly, they are very weak flyers. When you see the any damselfly, you can easily see by their flight. If they are not going for swift flight, then you can easily identify that it is certainly it is a damselfly. But if it is going on a swift flight, certainly that must be a damselfly. Other thing is that in case of the four wings and hind wings, in case of the dragonfly, they are unequal in size. Unequal means if you see the basal area of the hind wing of dragonfly, or in the same dragonfly, if you compare the hind wing base with the base of forewing, then you can see the bases of both the wings are unequal. Hind wing width of the wing at the base is more in comparison to the forewing of the dragonfly. So here you can easily identify the wings, forewing and hind wing are not equal. But in here you will see the base of the hind wing and hind wing in case of the damselfly, it is almost same in width. So the forewing and hind wing similar in shape and size. Here forewing and hind wing similar in shape and size, but here in case of the anisopterans, they are unequal in shape and size. Other thing is that when you see the sitting posture of both the groups, then in case of the dragonfly or anisopterans, generally they during the resting posture, wing caps spread out at rest. But in case of the damselfly, when you see, certainly they have during the resting posture, they rest at a certain angle. They don't spread the wings at side during the resting posture. So you can see here on the picture, they are spreading the wings at the side in case of the anisopterans, but in case of the zygopterans, at the resting stage, their wings are their wings are not spread at the side, even they are resting at a certain angle. So by that you can easily identify. Or other thing is that in case of the zygopterans, generally they are endophytic, means when they lay the eggs, generally they insert their eggs inside the plants. But in case of the anisopterans or dragonflies, the females generally just what they do, they just they are act of fighting, means they just lay outside the stem, they don't insert inside. So this is the life cycle of Eodonate. You can see here, first they go for swarm, then they go for a special type of mating, and after that they go for oviposition, then they go for certain nymphal stages, then again the last growing larval stage they convert into the adult stage, then again male female go for likewise copulation and these things. So this is the life cycle of Odonate, and here you can compare the nymphs of a dragonfly. This one is dragonfly nid, and this is damselfly larvae. So here in case of the damselfly larvae, you can see they have the three caudal lamellate or leaf like gills and the wing pads. So they can, by these features you can easily identify. But in case of the dragonfly nets, you can see they don't have such type of tail like structure. What they have the rectal gills. So they have the they have lamellate gills, but in case of the damselfly, but in case of the dragonfly they have the caudal gills. Thank you.